Asher King stood about 20 feet away from a 2-story rectangular brick building and clenched his fingers into fists. At one time he'd vowed to never set foot inside the main security building for Clan Skyhunter ever again. And yet, here he was, about to go willingly. His gaze drifted to the barely above-ground window, reinforced with steel bars. The corridor and set of rooms behind it were more than familiar to him. After all, he'd been chained inside a cell for more than 5 years, constantly drugged to prevent his inner dragon from doing more than stumbling about inside his head, never being able to shift. All because he'd disagreed with the clan leader and how he treated the clan. His inner dragon stirred and spoke inside his mind. "We have a chance to fix his mistakes and make things better." "You sure? Because entering our former prison is only the first step of a very long, difficult road." His beast huffed. "Of course I'm sure. Otherwise, who knows what will happen to the clan? They need a good leader if we're to rebuild. We would do a good job." Asher had agonized for weeks, debating if he would be able to overcome his past and have a chance at winning the leadership position of Clan Skyhunter. His own physical strength, as well as his dragon's stamina, weren't the only obstacles. No, the former clan leader Marcus King was his uncle. No matter that Asher had stood up to the bastard and tried to reach out to the Department of Dragon Affairs for help, many of those still living on Skyhunter saw only his name. Blood will tell, some said. Marcus was once a good leader too. His dragon growled, "Stop it. We would never allow a human to bury dead bodies on our land, let alone jail and abuse any clan member." All things Marcus had done, all for his own personal gain. "I know that. However, at the first sign of strain or anything being too much for us to handle, you tell me straight away. I'm strong enough. I always will be." Dragon. His beast paused. At one time, Asher would have known exactly how his inner dragon would act. But after 5 years of being separated because of drugs, they were still testing each other out and determining how they fit together again. Almost every other contender for the leadership position didn't have the same handicap. It was the single biggest reservation Asher had about trying to win the right to be clan leader. After all, Asher didn't smile as often or joke around like he had before the imprisonment. Who knew what the long-term drugs had done to his dragon's mind? His beast huffed. "We may not be exactly the same, but I'm still honorable. I would never endanger others merely to boost my ego. I would rather die first." His dragon's reassurance eased his nerves a little. "And that's all I need to hear." "Right then. Let's go. We can't be late, or we'll never have a chance. The smallest mistake or mishap will disqualify us from the trials." Adjusting the ridiculous tie around his neck, it and the suit he wore were a requirement put forth by the deciding council, Asher headed straight for the main entrance to the Protector's security building. He nearly paused at the doorway as images of his dark, dirty prison cell, shared with several other males, filled his mind. Males who had sometimes broken down sobbing after a torture session. Others who had started to show signs of madness because of the silence of their dragons. And then those who had lost all hope, simply giving up on life itself. Asher had come close, so close to lashing out toward the end. He might not have survived whole if Marcus had been in charge of the clan too much longer. His beast spoke up. "But he's gone, which is all that matters. You didn't break. You're strong." His beast stood taller inside his mind. "I'm glad you're my human." At the love and pride emanating from his inner beast, Asher smiled. "And I'm happy you're my dragon." Well, most of the time. Before his beast could protest, Asher crossed the threshold and walked quickly to the main conference room. It was where all the clan leader candidates would meet with their liaison from the Department of Dragon Affairs, which was the branch of the UK government that dealt with and handled the dragon shifters. The DDA didn't usually concern themselves with clan leader trials. Most of their efforts were spent with the human sacrifice programs, where human females willingly allowed a dragon man to impregnate them in exchange for a vial of valuable dragon's blood that could heal many human illnesses. In recent months, from what Asher had been able to gather since being set free, the DDA had spent just as much effort on finding and subduing those out to destroy or enslave dragon shifters as they did on their other priorities. The news reports stated how short-staffed they were most of the time, too. However, even with those tasks taking up much of their time, the previous corruption of both the Skyhunter leader and the former DDA director warranted extraordinary caution. No one wanted a repeat performance. Hence the DDA's oversight regarding the Skyhunter trials.